2008, a 208-year history, I should say, of West Point Military Academy. It's only 34 years ago when women were allowed in, and since then, our next guest has been the only female graduate to be promoted to general officer. Today, she's in the Quad Cities for a special appearance at Palmer College. Retired Brigadier General Becky Halstead joins us live from the newsroom. It's so good of you to join us. We do want to talk about your Palmer College visit in a moment, but I got to ask you about West Point and women really not playing a leading role in the military. It is amazing now that what you see in Afghanistan and what you see in Iraq, it really proved the naysayers wrong, didn't it?
Well, I think so. You know, I believe that women are making a huge contribution in our military across all services. And I think, you know, instead of proving the naysayer wrongs, I like to look at it as we proved the leaders who got it right by allowing us into the academies and into the service, they got it right. And if I could just make a little bit of a correction, because
Please do.
I was the first woman graduate of West Point to make general, but there have been other women now since I made general to achieve that rank, and I would just not want them to get the right respect and honor due to them.
And I'm glad you're clarifying that. Thank you so much.
I appreciate that.
This is not something that happens overnight. I mean, this was a long period of work for you to get to this point.
That's correct. I mean, you serve usually in the 25 to 30 year mark before you're considered for general officer. And, you know, and rightfully so, because you have to be brought up in this institution and lead and command at all levels in order to understand and take care of those folks who are really getting the mission done, and that's those young men and women out on point for our nation.
Now, your career ended a little earlier than you had hoped, I believe. I mean, well, why was that?
I became ill. I had chronic fibromyalgia, so I was at a point where I was being considered for my second star, and I realized that physically I could not continue to do what I was doing with the fibromyalgia, and so I made the tough decision to retire. And I think when you're going through that, you feel like you got a bit derailed, but
sure.
In essence, it's really opened up new doors of opportunity for me because it introduced me to the chiropractic community, who over the last 18 months has changed my quality of life. It also opened up the door for the fact that the military needs chiropractic care and was passed by law in 2000 for that benefit. It just has not been resourced fully. So I'm really hoping that I can continue to contribute to the military by being a spokesperson for the Foundation for Chiropractic Progress and making that available to all of our veterans and all of our active duty servicemen and women and their families to help sustain them to continue to fight the fight that needs to be done for our nation. Well,
and as you said, I mean, you dovetailed perfectly as to why you're at Palmer College. You got your first tour of the area today, so we want to welcome you here and look forward to your speech tonight.
Well, thank you. And, you know, Palmer's where it's all started. This is the fountainhead of chiropractic, and what a rich history. And I just, it's a wonderful facility, wonderful school, great leadership, and the students are really leading by example and getting great energy from them, and it's an honor and a privilege to be here with them.
Brigadier General Halstead, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for allowing me this opportunity.
She'll be part of the inauguration ceremony for Palmer College's 4th Chancellor. It begins at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's going to be at the Vicki Ann Palmer Hall Auditorium.